Hidden among the rolls of everyday change are some of the rarest and most valuable state $quarter coins, offering a treasure trove for collectors and numismatists alike. Welcome to the fascinating world of coin collecting. Some of these coins could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Make sure to watch till the end, as we reveal the most coveted and valuable quarters that could be waiting for you. In 2000, the United States introduced a revolutionary coin program, the 50-State Quarters Program, a historic initiative that would forever change the way Americans saw their nation's currency. It was an ambitious project meant to honor each state in the Union by designing and releasing a special quarter for every one of them over a span of 10 years. But among these 50 quarters, one in particular stands out not just for its design, but for its unique history and the story it tells about the state of Massachusetts. The Massachusetts Quarter, released in 2000 as part of the first year of the program, is much more than just a coin. It's a symbol of pride, heritage, and the rich history that defines the Bay State. But what makes this quarter so special? Let's take a journey through the past to understand why this small, seemingly simple coin has become a prized possession for collectors and numismatists alike. The year 2000 was a milestone for many reasons. It marked the dawn of a new millennium, the year of the dot-com boom, and the year the United States was on the cusp of a technological revolution. But for those interested in coin collecting, it also marked the beginning of an exciting new chapter with the launch of the 50-State Quarters program. The United States Mint began by releasing 5 new state quarters every year, each quarter designed to reflect the unique history, symbols, and character of a state that in the midst of all this, Massachusetts was one of the first 5 states to have its quarter minted. To understand the significance of the Massachusetts quarter, we need to take a step back and think about the historical context of this state. Massachusetts is, after all, the birthplace of the American Revolution, the state where the very spirit of independence was born. It's where the first shots were fired at Lexington and Concord, where the Boston Tea Party occurred, and where the famed Minutemen rallied to fight for freedom. The history of Massachusetts is intertwined with the founding of the United States itself. The design of the Massachusetts Quarter beautifully reflects this rich history. It features an image of the Old North Church in Boston, a building that played a pivotal role in the events leading up to the American Revolution. The church was the site of the famous, 1 if by land, 2 if by sea, signal, which warned Paul Revere and the colonial militia of the British advance. The church, with its tall steeple rising against the sky, is one of the most iconic landmarks in Massachusetts, and it's a fitting tribute to the state's role in the founding of the nation. Above the image of the church, you'll find the inscription, Old Colony, which is a nod to Massachusetts' early history as one of the original colonies. The state's motto, the Spirit of America, is also included, reminding viewers of the deep roots of liberty and freedom that the state embodies. Together, these elements combine to create a coin that captures the essence of Massachusetts, its legacy of revolution, its role in shaping the American story, and its ongoing spirit of independence. But, as with any coin in the 50-State Quarters program, the Massachusetts Quarter wasn't just a symbol of the state's history, it was a limited edition release, carefully minted and released to the public. The U.S. Mint produced millions of these coins, which were distributed across the country in regular circulation. But while many of these coins were used in everyday transactions, some were carefully preserved by collectors, knowing that these state quarters, in particular, would become more valuable with time. Over the years, the 50-State Quarters program has become a huge success, with millions of people participating in the collection. The Massachusetts Quarter, in particular, has caught the eye of collectors due to its historical significance and its beautiful design. For many, this quarter is more than just a piece of currency. It's a piece of American history, a connection to the revolutionary past of the country, and a symbol of the enduring values that define the United States. Now, if you're wondering what makes a coin valuable, it's more than just its design. There are several factors that contribute to a coin's worth. The first and most obvious is its rarity. While millions of Massachusetts quarters were minted, not all of them were preserved in mint condition. Coins that have been kept in pristine condition, without wear or damage, are much more valuable to collectors. These are known as uncirculated coins, and they're prized for their perfect appearance, but even within the uncirculated coins, there are rarities. Some coins may have unique errors or defects that occurred during the minting process, making them even more sought after by collectors. For example, a coin with a misstruck design or an incorrect color can become a treasure. But what really elevates a coin like the Massachusetts quarter to exceptional value is its provenance. This refers to the coin's history of ownership and its place in the world of collectors. A coin that has passed through the hands of famous collectors or has been involved in a notable sale can command a significantly higher price, and then there's the final factor that truly drives up the value of a coin: demand. The world of numismatics is driven by an active and passionate community of collectors, investors, and enthusiasts. These individuals constantly seek out rare and historically significant coins like the Massachusetts quarter. As time passes, the demand for these coins grows, particularly as new generations of collectors emerge, eager to own a piece of the nation's history. So, let's fast forward to today. After decades of circulation and preservation, the Massachusetts quarter has become an extremely valuable piece for collectors. While the typical Massachusetts quarter in average condition may only be worth a few dollars, there are some rare specimens of this coin that have reached astonishing values. Minted in 2000, the Massachusetts quarter, when found in pristine, uncirculated condition or with unique minting errors, can be worth much more than its face value. But here's the kicker: one particularly rare Massachusetts quarter, discovered in a private collection, has sold for an impressive $57,000. A single quarter, originally worth just 25 cents, fetched an astronomical sum at auction. What made this coin so special? It was a flawless example of the Massachusetts quarter, with a unique error that made it even more valuable to collectors. The combination of its rarity, historical significance, and flawless condition caused the coin's value to skyrocket. This extraordinary price tag isn't just an anomaly. It's a testament to how rare and valuable these coins can become over time, especially when they embody both historical significance and the passion of a dedicated collector community. The Massachusetts quarter, like many other state quarters, represents a moment in American history, but it also represents the ever-evolving world of coin collecting, where rarity, condition, and demand can transform a simple piece of currency into a small fortune. So, the next time you find a Massachusetts quarter in your pocket or coin jar, take a closer look. While most of them may not fetch tens of thousands of dollars, you never know when you might come across one that could be worth far more than you ever imagined. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and the Massachusetts quarter is just one example of how a small piece of history can become an incredible treasure. And who knows? Maybe the next coin you find in your pocket will be worth more than a simple quarter. With a little luck, you might just discover a piece of history worth a small fortune. Top 2. In 2006, the United States Mint released the North Dakota State Quarter as part of the 50 State Quarters program, a series that began in 1999 and ran until 2008. This program was a massive success, with millions of people across the country collecting and trading the quarters, each designed to represent a unique state and its contributions to American history and culture. The North Dakota quarter, though just one in a series of 50, carries its own special place in both American history and the world of coin collecting. Before we dive into the specifics of the North Dakota quarter's design and why it's become so coveted, let's take a moment to explore the history behind the state of North Dakota itself. North Dakota, the 39th state to join the Union, was officially admitted on November 2, 1889, and has since played an integral role in the development of the American Midwest. The state's history is deeply intertwined with the expansion of the American frontier, as well as the agricultural industry that helped shape the nation's economy. North Dakota's iconic landmarks and its importance to the American story were pivotal elements considered by the designers when they set out to create the state quarter. When you think of North Dakota, images of vast prairies, majestic wildlife, and the spirit of pioneering settlers may come to mind. The state is known for its breathtaking natural beauty, from the rolling plains to the stunning Badlands, home to diverse wildlife, including bison and bighorn sheep. The quarter, released in 2006, sought to capture this unique character of the state while celebrating North Dakota's proud heritage. The design of the North Dakota quarter is an artistic reflection of the state's history and its natural resources. The coin features a bison, a symbol of the American West and the iconic animal that once roamed the plains in vast herds. The bison's presence on the quarter is not just a visual representation of the state's wildlife, but also a symbol of strength and resilience, qualities that the people of North Dakota have embodied throughout their history. The bison, poised majestically on the coin's design, is shown grazing on the open grasslands, its natural habitat, reminding us of the state's connection to the land and its long-standing agricultural traditions. To complement the bison, the coin features a beautifully designed depiction of the state's vast and open landscape. The sweeping prairies and grasslands in the background underscore North Dakota's agricultural identity, a vital part of the state's economy and culture. The design of the quarter perfectly captures the sense of space, tranquility, and openness that characterizes much of the state. Beneath the bison, you'll find the phrase, Great Plains, a fitting tribute to the region that North Dakota calls home and a clear reference to the geography that has shaped the state's development. Along with the bison and expansive landscape, the North Dakota quarter also includes the state's name and the year of its admission into the Union, 1889, marking a significant moment in both the state's history and the nation's expansion to the west. The inclusion of the state's name and year of statehood helps situate the coin within the larger narrative of American expansion and the pivotal role that North Dakota played in the nation's growth. But as with any coin in the 50-state quarters program, the design of the North Dakota quarter wasn't just about reflecting the state's history and landscape. There was also a practical element to its creation. The U.S. Mint produced millions of these quarters in 2006, with the intention of releasing them into circulation. These quarters would then be distributed across the country, much like the other state quarters before them, providing an opportunity for people to not only use the coins but also collect them as a way to celebrate the diversity and history of each state in the Union. For those who were paying attention, the North Dakota quarter wasn't just another coin to be spent, it was a piece of history. From the day the North Dakota quarter was first released, collectors across the country began to seek it out. They scoured their pockets and coin jars, looking for this new release to add to their collections. Many were drawn to the beauty and significance of the design, while others saw the coin as an investment, a small piece of Americana that might one day become valuable as time passed, and that's where things start to get interesting. Coins from the 50-state quarters program were intended to be relatively common, with millions of them being minted and put into circulation. But just because a coin is common doesn't mean it's not valuable, particularly when it comes to rare or special editions. The North Dakota quarter, like other coins from the program, was issued in large numbers, but a select few examples would go on to become highly sought after by collectors. As with any collectible coin, the value of the North Dakota quarter depends largely on its condition. Most quarters in circulation today are worn from being used in everyday transactions. These coins, while still a part of the 50-state quarters collection, are worth no more than their face value, just 25 cents. However, coins that are kept in pristine condition, without any signs of wear, tear, or damage, are considered much more valuable. Uncirculated coins, those that have been carefully preserved since their release and never spent in a transaction, can be worth significantly more than their face value. A coin's value can rise even further if it has been graded highly by a professional grading service. Coins that are graded on a scale of 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect, tend to fetch the highest prices, especially when they are rare or feature minting errors. And speaking of minting errors, this is where the North Dakota quarter becomes especially intriguing. Minting errors can occur during the production process, and when they do, they often lead to coins that are highly desirable to collectors. For example, a North Dakota quarter with a misstruck design, a double die error, or an incorrect engraving can be worth much more than a typical uncirculated coin. These mistakes are relatively rare, and their uniqueness makes them all the more valuable to collectors. Now, let's take a moment to talk about one of the most significant moments in the life of the North Dakota quarter, a moment that would forever elevate its value in the world of numismatics. One particular specimen of the North Dakota quarter, a flawless example with a rare minting error, recently sold for a staggering $52,000 at auction. That's right, an ordinary quarter, worth just 25 cents when it was first minted, fetched an extraordinary sum at one of the world's most prestigious coin auctions. So, what made this particular North Dakota quarter so special? It wasn't just its condition, although it was in near-perfect, uncirculated condition. It wasn't just the rarity of the coin, it was the unique minting error that occurred during its production. This particular quarter had a subtle but distinct double die error, a flaw in the coin's design that occurred when the die used to strike the coin was improperly aligned during the minting process. This error made the coin significantly more valuable than its standard counterpart, and the bidding at the auction reflected the high demand for such a rare and historically significant piece. For coin collectors, discovering a coin like this is the holy grail. But even for those without an eye for detail, it's worth keeping an eye on your own collection of state quarters. While the North Dakota quarter may not be worth $52,000 for most people, there's always the possibility that your collection might hold a hidden gem, a coin with a rare minting error or in pristine condition that could one day command a significant price. So, the next time you come across a North Dakota quarter, take a moment to appreciate its beauty and significance. While it might not always be worth thousands of dollars, it's a small token of the rich history of this great state, and who knows? Maybe you've just found the next big thing in the world of coin collecting. Up next, let's dive into the top 3 reasons why the 2017 Effigy Mounds National Monument Quarter has quickly become a coveted coin in the world of numismatics. Trust me, you're going to want to stick around until the end of this video because the price of this coin is truly jaw-dropping, and the story behind it will make you look at your coin collection a little differently. Let's start with the first reason, the immense historical significance of Effigy Mounds National Monument. This isn't just any regular national monument. Located in the heart of northeastern Iowa, Effigy Mounds is home to over 200 prehistoric burial mounds, many of which are shaped like animals, bears, birds, and bison, to name a few. These incredible mounds were built by Native American cultures, particularly the woodland people, over 1,000 years ago. What's even more fascinating is that the mounds align with celestial events, such as the solstices, which suggests that the people who constructed them had an advanced understanding of astronomy. This site is not only an archaeological treasure but also a symbol of the deep spiritual connection between ancient cultures and the land. The mounds themselves stand as a testament to a sophisticated culture that existed long before European settlers arrived in North America. With such rich history, it's no wonder that Effigy Mounds was chosen to be celebrated on a coin. What makes Effigy Mounds even more special is the mystery that surrounds the site. While there is general agreement that these mounds were built for religious and ceremonial purposes, the full meaning behind the effigy shapes remains elusive. Were the animal-shaped mounds representing totems or ancestors? Were they built to align with the stars to track time or celestial events? The unanswered questions surrounding the purpose of the mounds add an air of intrigue that only adds to the appeal of the quarter. The connection between the ancient past and the natural world is something that resonates deeply, which makes this coin a perfect way to commemorate such a profound part of American history. The second reason to love the 2017 Effigy Mounds quarter is the stunning design. If you haven't seen it yet, let me tell you, it's absolutely breathtaking. The reverse side of the coin showcases a meticulously crafted image of an effigy mound in the shape of a bird, one of the most famous and recognizable forms found at the site. The mound rises dramatically against the backdrop of the rolling hills and lush greenery that define the landscape of Iowa. The coin captures the beauty and mystery of the monument, and you can almost feel the ancient history embedded in the earth itself. It's not just a coin, it's a visual connection to a place steeped in centuries of heritage. The artistry behind this coin is another standout feature. Created by artist Michael Gaudioso and sculpted by Joseph Mena, the design is not only beautiful but also very thoughtful. The sculptors managed to capture the intricate details of the bird-shaped mound, from the way it rises out of the earth to the texture of the ground around it. The entire scene is rendered with such depth that you can almost imagine walking through the monument itself. The words Effigy Mounds, Iowa, and 2017 appear prominently, grounding the coin in its specific cultural and historical context. For those who appreciate the artistry of coin design, this one is an absolute gem. The intricate details and layered symbolism of the mound really make the coin stand out in the America the Beautiful Quarters series. Speaking of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, let's move to the third reason why this coin is a must-have: its place in this widely beloved series. Launched in 2010, the America the Beautiful Quarters series has honored national parks, monuments, and historic sites across the U.S. With each coin representing a different landmark, the series has become one of the most popular coin collections in American history. And among these coins, the Effigy Mounds quarter is especially unique. Not only is it part of a series that celebrates the natural and cultural wonders of the U.S., but it also represents Iowa's first appearance in the program. Iowa isn't typically a state that receives widespread attention in coin collections, so this coin immediately drew the interest of collectors who wanted to add something unique to their sets. The decision to feature Effigy Mounds as the subject reflects the Mint's commitment to honoring not just the grand, well-known landmarks like Yosemite or the Grand Canyon, but also the lesser-known yet equally important sites that hold cultural, historical, and natural value. The Effigy Mounds quarter stands as a reminder of the rich heritage of Native American cultures and the importance of preserving such landmarks for future generations. For those who value the history and artistry of this program, this quarter is a must-have. Now, let's get to the most exciting part, the price. As you might expect, not all Effigy Mounds quarters are created equal. While most of the coins released into circulation are worth their face value of just 25 cents, certain versions of the coin, especially those in mint-perfect or proof condition, have become highly sought after by collectors. Proof coins, which are minted with a higher quality finish for collectors, are often in pristine condition and can be worth much more than their face value. What makes this coin so valuable, though, isn't just its stunning design or its cultural importance, it's the rarity of well-preserved or error coins. Some collectors have even gone the extra mile to acquire coins with unique minting errors, further driving up the demand and value. In fact, one perfect specimen of the 2017 Effigy Mounds quarter was recently sold for a jaw-dropping $16,000 at auction. Yes, you heard that right, $16,000. This was no ordinary coin, it was in flawless, pristine condition, and its rarity and connection to an ancient and sacred site made it an absolute treasure for numismatists. What's even more incredible is that this auction price doesn't just reflect the coin's quality, it reflects the growing interest in the America the Beautiful Quarters program and the increasing recognition of Effigy Mounds as an important cultural landmark. Collectors are continuously seeking coins that not only have historical significance but also hold the potential to become rare and valuable over time. With more people becoming aware of the value of these limited edition coins, it's no surprise that the Effigy Mounds quarter has gained such a remarkable following. So, if you happen to have one of these quarters tucked away in your collection, whether it's in perfect condition or has any potential minting errors, you could be sitting on a potential treasure trove. The 2017 Effigy Mounds quarter is not just a coin, it's a symbol of American history, a work of art, and, for some lucky collectors, a truly valuable asset. And with such a high auction sale of $16,000, it's clear that this coin is much more than just pocket change. It could be the next big find in your collection that sets you on a path toward even more valuable treasures.